Case 2. Sorry, day 2. First case. 5th case. Case number 5. Session number 2. Date unknown. Time unknown. Location unknown. Bring, bring, bring. Bring, bring, bring. Who could that be at this time of night? Yes, Edgeworth speaking. Edgy, get up! It's an emergency! Huh? Larry? Do you know what time it is? It's not Larry, it's Maurice. Maurice Dunim. This is nothing more than a terrible nightmare. I'll just roll over and— Wait, don't hang up! It's an emergency! It's Nick! He took a really nasty spill! Well, wouldn't be the first time, so I'm not joking, his life is in danger. What? What happened? Tell me. Talk about a guy with bad luck, he may already be dead. Anyway, you gotta come back. You're the only one that can help. My Iris, my beautiful Iris, she needs help. All right. I don't know what's going on, but I'll be there as soon as I can. I'm at the detention center. Please, hurry! It's been 1 year since I left that country. I thought I wouldn't have to see him again for a while. Sounds like it won't be a pretty reunion. As if I expected anything to change. Oh my god, I'm so glad they're bringing Edgeworth back. February 8th, 2:19 p.m., detention center, visitor's room. You're late, Edgy! What took you so long? I don't want to hear it. I chartered a private jet to come as quickly as I could. Well, you should have chartered a faster one. Anyway, just listen. Something happened to Miss Elise, and Nick is Maya and Iris. Huh? Say something, Edgy. Before I came here, I stopped into the hospital where Wright is. I believe I have a better understanding of this situation than you at this point. The murder victim was the picture book author, Miss Elise Dunim. She was found by Wright and the head nun. The suspect is the temple's younger nun. Then later, while Wright was crossing that bridge, it broke and he fell into the river. The hospital says he'll need at least 2 days of bed rest. Yeah, that's right. You got it. But they arrested her. My sweet little Iris. And here I was, convinced he was the one the police had arrested. However, I still don't understand what these 2 items are for. What are you talking about? They're things Wright gave me when I was leaving the room. This is the first. The Magatama. He said some nonsense about being able to see into people's hearts with this. And the other. He couldn't possibly be asking what I think he is. Could he? I'm begging you! Iris's trial starts tomorrow! With Nick out of the picture, you're all I've got left! You're the only one that can represent her! No way! I get to play as Edgeworth? No way! No way! Yo, what did you just say? You know, represent, defend! What were you expecting? What do you think I called you with anyway? I'm a prosecutor, Larry. A prosecutor. Do you understand what I'm saying? A prosecutor is a lawyer who— Don't talk to me like a kid! I graduated from junior high, you know. Don't worry about it. I promise I won't tell. But I mean, I heard a paper badge had no problem fooling an entire court before. How can this country's judicial system have fallen into such decay? Please, Edgy! At least listen to her. Listen to Iris's side of the story. So Wright wasn't joking when he gave me this badge after all. Thank you for coming. My name is Iris. Edgeworth. Miles Edgeworth. I don't know if I can be of any help, but I will at least hear what you have to say about the murder. Mr. Wright, how is he? Mr. Larice said that he might even die. Fortunately, he will be fine. Larry, you moron, how could you say something like that? He was badly bruised when he hit the water, but otherwise, he is unharmed. Thank goodness. But he caught some kind of nasty cold. A cold? He's running a high fever and drifting in and out of consciousness. I must be imagining things. This woman, I feel like I've met her before. That's right, because Edgeworth was the prosecutor in that trial. This music, oh my god. Pardon me, Iris. I would like to ask you something if you don't mind. I have the distinct feeling that you and I have met before. It must be your imagination, Mr. Edgeworth. After all, I hardly ever leave Hazakura Temple. Hazakura Temple? What's that? It's a place where those who wish to boost their spiritual power come to train. You need to undergo some very difficult training to release your inner spiritual power. Spiritual power? Did you go to that temple for that reason as well? No, I don't have any spiritual powers. I don't need them. In that case, what are you doing at the temple then? I've committed some sins. Sins that I need to pay for. That's why I'm there. And why I continue to train. To purify my soul. I want to ask you about about last night. The night of the crime. Well, all right. I helped to clean up after dinner and then went back to my room at about 8. Later, I left my room to ring the lights out bell at 10. Bell? We ring it at the same time each night. I see. And then? And then I was told to go to the training hall, but I went back to my room and stayed there. Why didn't you go to the training hall like you were asked to do? I was frightened. Right? So I stayed in my room and meditated till the murder happened. There's more to her story. I just know there is. Maybe I should dig a little deeper. So do you have any idea as to what really occurred last night? I think it was the result of tremendous spiritual power that was unleashed. Spiritual power? Yes. Spiritual training has been a cause behind many great tragedies. This incident was just another example. Iris, I'm sorry, but I cannot accept that. I am a man of science. I do not believe in spiritual power. Yes, I understand. Most people don't. And I am certain that the thing that killed the victim was a human. I am certain that the thing that killed the victim was a human. So please, answer me this simple question. Were you the one who killed Elise Dunim? No. I'm not the one who took her life. That was foolish of me. It's not as if I can know for certain as if she's telling me the truth. You were asked to go to the training hall on the night of the murder. Yes. However, you didn't go? Because you said you were frightened. What exactly were you so frightened of? It's less locks than the other one. Only 2, okay. What in the world? Is there something wrong? I'm sorry, it's nothing. It looks like she's not aware of them herself. These must be what Wright was talking about. The psycho locks. I believe he said that I need to present this Magatama item to do something. It appears that's about all that you can tell me. Thank you very much for listening to my story. I visited Wright at the hospital before coming here. He asked me to take care of you. Me? Yes, at the trial tomorrow. He asked me to defend you. If Mr. Wright has that much faith in you, Mr. Edgeworth, then I will gladly entrust my fate in your capable hands. But before that, I have one question. Yes? Do you know Wright? Why would you ask that? Whenever you came up in our conversation, he would begin to act a little strange. Mr. Edgeworth, are you his friend? Friend, well, in a sense, yes. It was 5 years ago. That's when I deceived him. You deceived him? I heard that he was in a lot of pain after what happened. I know what a weak person I am. That's why I thought it was best if he never saw me again. I wanted him to just forget about me without learning the truth. Well, if you ask me, Wright is still suffering. And until he learns the truth, I don't think he will ever be able to truly recover. Iris, it's not too late. You should go to him. Tell him the truth. I'll defend you, but only if you agree to that one condition. All right, Mr. Edgeworth. I promise. Very well. I'll do everything in my power to get you an acquittal. I'm so torn, man, because, like, she's so evil. And I don't buy for a second. I don't buy it for a second that she's trying to turn cheek, man. But she's so cute. It's so hard not to buy it. That's enough information gathering for now. I should head to the crime scene.
Take that!
Let's see if I can do anything with the Magatama. Since I have been handed this case, it is my duty to dig up the answers, understand? Yes, sir. The smallest flame can sometimes bathe a case in a whole new light. In my years in court, it seems to happen. I've seen it happen over and over again. And that's why I'm committed to searching until I have those answers. Now then, is it really true that you didn't go to the Inner Temple last night? Yes, I swear, I already told you that. Yes, you said you didn't go because you were frightened. That's right. If that's the case, then the obvious question is, what were you so afraid of? Iris, I wonder, is this what frightened you so much that you couldn't even leave your own room? I'm gonna have to come back. I don't know what I could possibly have. Hold on. I don't know if we have a mod in the chat right now. But I appreciate you guys spamming to get the spoiler off the screen before I could see it, because I didn't see it. Yeah, Ryan Plays, please, no spoilers, man. Don't drop any spoilers in the chat, man. That's a real gumshoe move of you. Alright, let's keep moving. We'll come back to visit her later. We're gonna check out the suspension bridge. February 8th, Dusky Bridge. Sure is cold, alright. So this is it. Dusky Bridge. Ahem, Mr. Edgeworth! Ugh, Detective Gumshoe. Long time no see! It's about a year? Or has it been longer? It doesn't matter, Detective. What does matter is why you're shuffling around up here. Oh, ouch! It was a sharp left jab. Well, I'm happy to see you anyway, Mr. Edgeworth. Let me guess, you were transferred into another section at work. Good choice. The vast amount of nothing up here must be quite easy to guard. I heard you were back in the country and arranged to come all the way out here. Everybody was real nice. They even let me take charge of the investigation, sir. Gumshoe indeed. Like gum on your shoe, he's impossible to get rid of. I'm supposed to report on the details of the crime scene, sir. Anyway, here I am, Detective Dick Gumshoe reporting for duty. Great. Thank you, Detective. I thought Prosecutor Godot was gonna get here before me. That guy's a real mystery, I tell ya. Prosecutor Godot? I just got back into the country, so I don't really know much about the case. It's simple. Well, simple is as simple does, they say. Oh, you got no idea how much I missed that biting sarcasm of yours, sir. But seriously, this one's a piece of cake. There's a witness that saw the whole thing. A witness? Yeah, the bikini lady. Bikini lady? Here, on this freezing cold mountain? Well, you should talk to her yourself if you want the details, sir. I may have to talk to this bikini lady. I mean, decisive witness myself. So this is the bridge that Wright fell through? Yep, I can't imagine being that reckless myself. Look before you cross is how it goes, right? Or was it that leap? And? Is there something on the other side? Yeah, some old building they call the Inner Temple. But we can't get over there without a bridge, sir. What? Nobody lives there, so it's usually not a problem, but someone was at the Inner Temple doing some training, and now they're stuck there. Yeah, I heard that from Wright. It's Maya Fey. Oh no, her again? Anyway, Diaz's real turbulent right now, so we can't do an aerial extraction. No one's gonna be able to reach the Inner Temple until tomorrow, sir. Will she be alright in this cold? So how did this bridge burn down anyway? We're almost 100% sure it was lightning. Lightning? You're telling me the bridge caught fire due to a fluke bolt of lightning? Yep. Last night it snowed for the first time in 3 days. It's a little unusual for lightning to occur during a snowfall like that, but according to the weather data, lightning definitely struck. Weather data added to the court record. I see. This is a very detailed weather report. Almost too detailed. Eagle Mountain weather data for February 7th. Snow with occasional lightning airstrikes. Snow approximately 7 to 10:50 p.m. Lightning 10 to approximately 11 p.m. Lightning struck Dusky Bridge at 10:45. Around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. That is detailed. It even has the exact time that the lightning struck the bridge. Oh, that? We got that information from the witness's testimony. Someone actually saw the lightning hit the bridge? Who is this witness? Sorry, I'll go ask for one of the local cops later, sir. So who is this prosecutor Godot? I've never heard of him. Yeah, he's a new guy. Showed up after you left the country. He's a complete rookie, but nobody can say a bad word about the guy. What kind of a man is he? He just became a prosecutor recently, but he's good, sir. Real good. If he's so good, how is it that I've never heard of him? Is he the lead prosecutor on this case? You bet he is. After all, you know who is right in the middle of it. You know who. Phoenix Wright, of course. For some reason, Godot's really got it in for Mr. Wright. Oh? Yeah, he seems to have some kind of grudge. And what would be the cause of this grudge? I don't know. Maybe he made fun of his mask or something. None of this is making any sense. I better look into this Godot myself. Let's examine the burnt bridge real quick. So this is the bridge Wright tried to cross? Pretty reckless if you ask me. I'm amazed he survived the fall from up here. Yeah, he's one lucky guy, sir. Now I see how he manages to win his cases in court. Blind luck. I think dumb luck suits Wright just a bit better. Hey, there's a snowmobile here now. Yo, Edgy, what took you so long? I'm cold and my brain's turning to sherbet. I knew it was a mistake to race back to this country. What do you mean? Wright is going to be fine, and the case itself isn't anything unusual. And I find myself taking a request to defend a woman accused of murder. Hey, wait a second. Hold it. Objection. What's going on here, Mr. Edgeworth? It's hard to explain, but one thing led to another, and what kind of lame excuse is that? And you call yourself a defense attorney? Prosecutor Edgeworth is a prosecutor. That's why he's Prosecutor Edgeworth. Prosecutor Edgeworth, defense attorney, just sounds plain weird, plain old weird, pal. Right, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I'm not sure what role I'm supposed to be playing anymore. Dude, Edgy, I don't see you for a couple of years, and your heart turns to sherbet? I'd say more like sorbet. It's rather cold here. Iris didn't murder her. Someone else did. I just know it, okay? So trust me on this one. You ever the romantic, aren't you, Larry? Nevertheless, I'll do what I can to prove her innocence. At least until I pass the baton on to Wright, that is. Man, I'm telling you, Iris is so cute. Right, Edgy? You think so too, don't you? What's wrong? Why are you so quiet? To put it simply, your comment has me highly concerned. Could it be that the reason you think she's innocent? Come on, a girl that cute can't possibly be a murderer. I was right after all. I should have never come back. No, don't worry. I see things for how they really are this time, honest. I had a penny for every time he said that. It's just that, well, Iris is a delicate flower. You can't force things too much, you know what I mean? Huh? I have no idea what you're talking about, Larry. Oh, forget it. I didn't say anything. Larry, where were you and what were you doing on the night of the crime? Larry? What? Don't tell me. You think I might have done it? What? Get lost. Go back to your charter jet and get out of my sight, you creep. And I hope your plane crashes and you die. Wow, rough. I'll ask just one more time. On the night of the murder, where were you and what were you doing? Give me a second. I want to blow my nose real quick, guys. Alright. On the night of the murder, where were you and what were you doing? Wow. I'm gonna have to break a psych log for him. Oh, there, you piece of garbage. As I suspected, a psycho. I like how he calls it a psycho log. I'm sorry, man. You know me. I just don't remember. My short-term memory is a wreck, dude. Does he know anything about Godot? No. I still can't believe it. She was such a great person. But someone's pinning this murder on my sweet little Iris. Edgy, please, I'm counting on you. Well, frankly, I was hoping you could give me a little more than that. Well then. I got it. I'll draw you a portrait. How about that? Since you're kind enough to offer, all right. I have a feeling that she's hiding something. Could be. After all, she's shy and gets embarrassed pretty easily. I don't think that has anything to do with it. Why not? Look, I know all about this kind of thing. Come on, Edgy. You were a guy once. Lots of girls are like Iris. You know I'm right. Well, you most certainly seem to have convinced yourself. Man, I love shy girls like her. It's just so cute. You know what I mean? Still doesn't listen to others. I guess some people just never change. Excuse me. Come to think of it, when you were a kid, you were always saying, when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer and defend people or something like that. That was a long time ago. But see, now you got the chance to follow your boyhood dream for a day. Edgy, you gotta do it. You gotta save my little Iris. It's exactly why I hate childhood friends. Will I be able to break his psych lock already? I find it doubtful. Take that! I love the way Edgeworth says take that. Alright, now you're going to tell me what you really saw that night. Whoa. You're really upset, aren't you, Edgy? Okay, I'll talk. Huh? That was a bit too easy. Yeah, anyway, it was awesome. Never seen anything like it. At around 10 o'clock last night, it started thundering. Hold on a second. Yeah. That is correct. I'd been sleeping, but I'm not sure for how long. Suddenly, zing! The world in front of me went white. Like I'd just been slapped in the face by my old girlfriend Naomi. And then, it was on fire! The bridge was on fire! Dusky Bridge caught on fire? Are you saying you saw it with your own eyes? Hey, what are you giving me the evil eye for? I'm telling the truth! There are still 3 psycho locks remaining. That means he's still trying to hide something. By the way, Larry, where were you when you saw that happen? Where, you say? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? Just answer the question. I was in my own room by the main hall. Where else would I be? As usual, you're as transparent as an empty jelly jar. That's not... wrong guy. The problem, I suspect, lies there. There? Well, what do you mean, the there? It's impossible for you to have seen lightning strike the Dusky Bridge from your room. Considering the map. This is a map of the area. Take a look around the vicinity of Hazakura Temple. What am I looking for? I think that should be fairly obvious. The main hall is surrounded by trees, and it is impossible to see the bridge from here. What? Why didn't you tell me that before? Well, how about it? How about what? Do you feel like talking now? About what? It looks like it won't be that easy after all. You leave me no choice. I'll have to move on to the next step. You weren't in your room at the temple, so then where were you? You don't know that. I wasn't in my room. So where was Larry? And why was he there? If I've read the situation up to this point correctly, the answer is fairly obvious. Very well then, let's test my theory. The place you witnessed the lightning striking Dusky Bridge from was here. It's gotta be like here, right? Somewhere in this general region. I'll try it. This is where you were. Well, what do you think, Larry? Oh, not much, I guess. Sorry, but what kind of an answer is that? Well, you were just making small talk, right? Like, how are you doing or something? Larry, look at the expression on my face. Do I look like I was just making small talk? To be honest, nah, I guess not. Maybe over here then? No, but then if he saw the lightning strike, he wouldn't. Maybe over here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to waste too much of my health or anything. I think I don't have enough information at this time. I'm gonna come back to it later. Yo, what's up, Mitch? Alright, let's move into the main hall. We'll talk to Larry again later. February 8th, Hazakura Temple, main hall. Hey, hello there. So, how you feeling? Alright, I suppose. Who is this? My name is Miles Edgeworth. My, a handsome boy such as yourself is always welcome. Circumstances weren't so tragic, I might just... Please don't call me boy. I'm sorry to trouble you, but I'm looking for the woman in a bikini. Well, you found her. Now what can I do for you? I'm sorry, but I don't see any bikinis. If you ask Knightley, I might give you a peek, big boy. Mr. Edgeworth, this is the head nun, Sister Bikini. She's the witness. Why didn't you tell me that earlier? This is exactly why your salary keeps on getting cut. Yeah, my stomach is already growling in protest. So, what's the latest about my beloved Iris? Well, first, I want to hear what you know. I'd like to ask you about last night. Well, last night, we had an acolyte here for training. After dinner, the two of us went to the training hall in the inner temple. She must be talking about Maya. Approximately what time was that? I suppose it was about 9 p.m. when we left here. Training lasts all night long. It's extremely exhausting. The channeling dojo's head nun must be in attendance at all times to keep watch. Wow, you're right. That does sound exhausting. Detective, this is no time for flattery. Sorry. Sometime around 11, you witnessed the incident in the courtyard, but your duty was in the inner temple. Why did you come back here? The way you're staring at me, I'm starting to get goosebumps. Wow! I'm starting to get goosebumps myself, actually, but for a decidedly different reason. Oh, you get the chills pretty easy, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth? Alright then, I'd like you to tell me exactly what you saw in the courtyard. It must have been past 11. No, I can't say it. It's too much for my poor heart. Hey, calm down, lady. Let go of my tie. I saw two people. One of them was lying on the ground. The other one was stabbing her from the back with a sword. Did you see this criminal with your own eyes? I didn't want to believe what I was seeing, but it was Iris. You must have been quite shocked. Of course she was. Try putting yourself in her shoes. It'd be like if you were stabbing Mr. Wright smack in the middle of the courtroom and I happened to witness it from the witness stand. I'd be pretty shocked too. I know it sounds insane, but That's what I saw. And when I finally realized what I was seeing, I screamed. And then I passed out. Unfortunately for us, her testimony seems to be pretty solid. However, the idea of Iris doing such a foul act seems unnatural. Unnatural? The girl I know simply isn't capable of this sort of foulness. I wonder what she means by that. So who is this acolyte who was to train at the Inner Temple? Her name is Maya Fey. I treated her very badly, I'm ashamed to say. And after she went through the trouble of signing up for the special course. Special course? It's a training session where you sit on a block of spirit ice and chant 30,000 times. You don't mean to tell me that she's still doing that over at the Inner Temple, do you? No, of course not. You don't have to worry about that little one bit. That one little bit. Last night, we still hadn't started the training session itself. Well, that's good to hear. Oh, dear. There's one thing I forgot to tell you. Uh-oh. I don't think I like the sound of this. Do you know that small girl? I believe she is Mystic Maya's little sister. Maya has a little sister? Oh, you mean Little Pearl. That's Maya Fey's cousin. Little Pearl? I thought she was going to visit Mystic Elise after cleaning up dinner, but I haven't seen her at all since late last night. She's nowhere to be found. You mean she was with the victim? It's all the fault of my stupid, creaky old back. The little girl who was with the victim on the night of the murder is gone? As they say, the plot thickens. As the head nun, it's your duty to stay with the acolyte at all times, correct? Yes, that's correct. I know I may look strong, but the truth is, I've got a bad lower back. A bad lower back? Yes, it's especially bad in the winter. So bad that I can't even lift a bucket. Do you remember how cold it was last night? My bad back felt as stiff as frozen glass. I just wanted to take a nice hot bath to ease my aching back. That's why I returned to the main hall. So you left the disciple all alone. Don't be ridiculous. I would never do that. That's why I ordered Iris to the Inner Temple after she rang the bell for lights out. Yes, but she never went to the Inner Temple, did she? Did this head nun even see Iris? I think I'd better try to get some more details. Let's ask about the thunder. About this here. Let me see. Well, as you may know, in order to see reality for what it truly is, we strive to break our attachments to much of the transient material realm. I guess you could call me an immaterial girl. I guess she lives in an immaterial world, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Nice. Well, that's a demon warding hood. Acolytes are highly susceptible to possession by evil spirits, you know. That's why we always wear these for protection. Oh, I see. What are you waiting for? You won't get any protection just by holding it, you know. Put it on already. No, I can't. I was just... Oh, it looks like it was made just for you, Mr. Edgeworth. What do you mean by that, detective? It looks absolutely marvelous. You've got to keep it on for a while. Is this some sort of divine retribution? Nothing with this one. Nothing with the map. What about the news issue? About this picture? Well, look at that. I look pretty S to the X-y, don't you think? Yeah, absolutely. Up until recently, we've avoided exposure in such magazines, but this time we had our reasons. Is that so? For example... Ha 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 ha! Well, why deny the world of such a lovely face? Photo of Elise, we can present that. Oh, how could such a terrible thing have happened? It's all my fault. Well, come on, lady. I don't think you need to take all the blame yourself. Quiet! What do you know anyway? Ah, you're scary. With that stupid 5 o'clock shadow and that stupid old coat of yours. It's too bad that you weren't the one that disappeared. Savage. Why does she have to take it all out on me? Her anger does seem a little manufactured. Oh, this poor girl. Where could she have gone? Well, we checked out her home and she was not there. And she's nowhere in the vicinity of the temple either. Which means there's only a few other possibilities as to where she could be. Do you think maybe she fell off the bridge and was carried downstream? Why do you have to be such a pessimist, detective? Yeah, I was just trying to think like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Ironic. I became a pessimist only after I had the pleasure of working with you. Well, I've exhausted all my conversation options. I don't think I have much more to unlock, so I guess I'm gonna move to the courtyard, the scene of the crime. February 8th, Hazakura Temple Courtyard. And this is where the murder took place, sir. Other than removing the body, we left everything else untouched. Thanks, detective. I'll just have a look around. Looks like the police are still investigating. Oh yeah, by the way, I thought that I'd better ask, just to be sure. Are you really gonna defend that nun Iris at the trial tomorrow? Yes, I will. I gave her my word and now I must follow through with my commitments. Well, in that case, I gotta be careful. Gotta make sure I don't leak the prosecution's whole investigation. Don't worry about it, detective. Just keep your mouth closed and I think most of it will flow out on its own. Roger, sir. I know exactly what you're saying. Very well, detective. Thankfully, his diarrhea of the mouth is permanent. The victim is the famous picture book author, Miss Elise Doonan. Her entire past up until she won that writing award last year is a total mystery. It's hard to believe at this day and age you can still find people like that. The estimated time of death of the victim was between 10 and 11 on February 7th. The cause of death was blood loss resulting from a stab to the back by the murder weapon. The murder weapon? The victim was found skewered with a giant sword, sir. That's terrible. Yeah, but there's one strange thing. Yes? The victim's entire body was covered with bruises. The bruises are consistent with falling from the height of a two-story building. A two-story building? That would be about the same height as that room in front of us, correct? Hey, you're right. Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth. That just happens to be the room that Elise Doonan was staying in. Maybe she was pushed out of the window after she was stabbed by the sword. Now then, detective. Let's see if we can summarize what we've learned so far. Okay, let's take a look at the map. According to the testimony of Sister Bikini, the head nun. Yo, Zachary with the host. Zachary, thank you, dude. Welcome on in, guys. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for sharing the love. Get some love into the chat. Get the chat nice and loved. According to the testimony of Sister Bikini, the head nun, she and Maya Fey headed to the inner temple right after dinner was finished. At 10 p.m., after ringing the bell for lights out, Iris went to the inner temple. When she got there, Bikini had her take over while she went back to Hazakura Temple. After taking a hot bath to soothe her back, Sister Bikini witnessed the murder in the courtyard. If you want more details, you should ask Bikini herself in the main hall. The inner temple, huh? I'd like some more information about that place. The trial begins tomorrow, but who is the prosecutor? I'm pretty sure it's that Godot guy, but nobody can get a hold of him, so they're looking for a replacement. What do you mean? It's really weird. All of a sudden, no one can reach him. I wonder if the rumors are true. Maybe since Mr. Wright got a cold and won't be defending, he just lost interest. I intend to appear in court in the role of the defense lawyer. However, I would be quite unhappy if it came out that I'm actually a prosecutor. Yeah, I can see why, but I'm not the one you have to worry about. I think the real problem is going to be that judge. Yes, he certainly would remember my face, even after such a long absence. That's why I requested another judge preside over this case. We've only met each other once. There's a good chance he won't remember me at all. It's going to be the Canadian judge from the time where... it's all wrapping together! Yeah, but what about the prosecutor? Everyone in the prosecutor's office must know you. Wouldn't it be a problem if someone there made a big stink, sir? There's no need to worry. I pulled a few strings and arranged for a prosecutor of my own choosing. Wow, Mr. Edgeworth, I had no idea you had such a powerful string to pull. What is this inner temple that Maya was supposedly training at? According to Bikini, it's an old building they used for training the acolytes. It's on the other side of Dusky Bridge. The bridge that burned down, huh? Is there anything else on the other side of that bridge besides the inner temple? Nope, not a thing. Nothing? The other side is surrounded by cliffs on all sides. In a way, it's kind of like a little island out there. So the only thing there is the inner temple. I hear it's not the kind of place a person could survive in. Please be all right, Maya. Let's examine stuff. What's this? It looks like a wizard's staff. That belonged to the victim, Miss Elise Dunim. There's nothing strange or magical about it. Oh yeah, listen to this is just between us, okay, sir? Yes, what? This is top secret stuff. Don't tell anyone about this, alright? The truth is, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a wizard. Wizard! That's it? That's what you wanted to tell me? That's it. This staff was made from a very strong kind of wood. What about fingerprints? Were there any on it? Just the victims. Notice the amethyst is missing from it. The massively expensive gem. So the sword from this golden statue is actually the murder weapon? It sure is. It's called the Shichishito, by the way. Nasty piece of work, sir. There's still blood on it. I suppose this is the victim's blood? Yeah, it's all over the blade. And speaking of all over the blade, there are fingerprints all over the hilt of the Shichishito, too. Fingerprints. Naturally, they match the prints we got from the younger nun to defend it. Our fingerprints were on the murder weapon? What's wrong? You're looking really solemn. Is this how it is for Wright? Is this what it's like to be a defense lawyer? Yeah, I figured it doesn't feel real good. To be honest, it feels more like it's detrimental to your health. The main gate must be just a little over that stone wall. Ah, stone walls. I jumped over a few of those in my time. Most of them are good memories, but not all. Detective, perhaps someone should introduce you to the concept of a paucity of words. What's this? Oh, I just love skiing. Really? You don't, seem like the type. Well, what about sleds? Sleds? Nah. They're a little too kiddie, you know? Messes with my hard-boiled image. What's with the silence, Mr. Edgeworth? Ugh, is the world starting to go mad? I don't think I have anything else to talk to him about. That purple amethyst missing is a real big deal to me. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done here. We now have proof that, I think we now have enough proof to go after the psych lock on Iris. Or Iris, aka Dahlia. Oh, something new at the main gate. I don't see Larry anywhere. Maybe we scared the poor kid away. His heart was shut tight with a psycho lock. Guess I'll have to look for him now. What a thorn in my side. Back to the detention center. Oh, what? Is she not here right now? Oh, never mind. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I came back because I need to ask you a few more questions, if you don't mind. But I've already told you everything that... Iris, please remember, I'm on your side. You can tell me anything. Yes, thank you. I just finished speaking with the head nun of Hazakura Temple. She testified very clearly as to what happened. She said she saw you stab Miss Elise Dunim with a sword. And one other thing. She said that when Maya Fey began her training at the Inner Temple, you were there as well. What? When I spoke with you last, you claimed that you never went to the Inner Temple. And yet, Sister Bikini says that she met with you at the Inner Temple that very night. But I didn't go there. I didn't go to the Inner Temple last night. Looks like she's unwilling to tell me the whole truth. I wonder if I'll find the answers I'm looking for. If I break those psycho locks.
Take that!
Since I have been handed this case, it is my duty to dig up all the answers. Understand? Yes, sir. The smallest flame can sometimes bathe a case in a whole new light. In my years in court, I've seen it happen over and over again, and that's why I'm committed to searching until I have those answers. Now then, is it really true that you didn't go to the Inner Temple that night? Yes, I swear. I already told you that. Yes, you said you didn't go because you were frightened. That's right. If that's the case, then the obvious question is, what were you so afraid of? Iris, I wonder, is this what frightened you so much that you couldn't even leave your own room? I don't have anything she was frightened of. Maybe I missed something. I'm gonna come back here. I was thinking the hood, but she gave the hood away. I don't think that's the answer. Wait, hold on a second. What's that? There are more Enza cushions in the corner of the room. What's that white paper sticking out from under the stack? Beats me. Would you mind checking that for me, Detective Gumshoe? Yes, sir. Here you are, Mr. Edgeworth. Looks like an old manila envelope. Yeah! What is it, Detective? This could be it. An ultra-important clue. A super special clue. I suppose I should read it myself then. It looks like a letter addressed to Sister Iris. Tonight at 10 at Heavenly Hill. Unless you want your secret to be exposed. That sounds like a blackmail letter. Okay, now we got what she was afraid of. To Iris of Hazakura Temple. Salutation here. There is something I must talk to you about. Salutation? Who is Salutation? I'll be waiting for you at 10 at Heavenly Hall. Make sure you come unless you want your secret to be exposed. I know salutation's an English word, but usually you say salutations. Like, salutations. I've never heard anyone say salutation, like single. Alright, but now we can break this first psych lock. I was frightened. Let's go. Back to the frightened part.
Take that!
I found this in the main hall. It is addressed to you.
Oh, that's...
Well, Iris,
Why are you glaring at me like that?
you were scared of the blackmailer who wrote this to you, isn't that correct?
Ah!
Was the evidence or the power of my glare that broke that psych lock? Well, I don't suppose it matters either way.
But, Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes?
I thought that letter was just someone playing a prank on me.
A prank?
Well, yes, after all, even if I did have a secret, there's no one to tell it to that would cause me any grief.
I wonder about that.
Sister Bikini is like a mother to me. I would never hide anything from her.
No, you may not have anything to hide under normal circumstances. However, last night was different. Unfortunately, I don't know the exact nature of your secret just yet. However, whatever it is, there's one person you didn't want your secret told to. I think it's pretty obvious that it's Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright.
Oh,
You mean something to write, it seems. And I can tell he holds a special place in your heart as well. That's why you didn't want him, of all people, to know your deep, dark secret. Well, what do you have to say?
I should have expected as much, especially from a friend of his. Yay, we got our health back! After dinner, this letter was waiting for me in my room. As I said, I was frightened by it.
What is this heavenly hall that the letter mentions?
There's a small mountain shack at the base of Dusky Bridge.
A small shack, huh?
It's more like a broken down shack that no one would ever want to go near.
Where is it on the map? Oh.
It's around here. To get there, you must follow a small path down from Dusky Bridge. The reality is, to get to the inner temple, I had no choice but to cross that bridge. But the thought that such a terrible criminal would be lurking at Heavenly Hall. I was so scared by the whole affair that I didn't want to think about it.
So this is the secret you locked away in your heart?
Yes.
It looks as though I may have to visit this heavenly hall now. Maybe I'll find some sign of our mysterious blackmailer. In any case, you still claim to have never left your room last night.
Yes, that's exactly right.
The trial starts tomorrow. I promise you, I will win. I'm going to win so that you and Phoenix can see each other again. But when I do, you must promise me that you will tell him your secret.
But it's pointless,
Why would you say that?
because I may know who Phoenix Wright is, but he has no idea who I am.
That's BS, Iris. That's Oh. Maybe she's being a little deeper there. Heavenly Hall, let's go. Wow. Oh, wow. Whoa, not much of a view down here, huh? Still better than the view from my apartment, though. Someone's here. Hide yourself, detective. Oh, why? Why does this always happen? Whenever I find a girl I like, they always run away. I even chased one of them to Tibet. Next, it's gonna be prison, I guess. I'll steal that detective's wallet. That'll get me locked up for sure. Nah, I can't do that to someone who looks like he's down on his luck. He's just talking to himself. Shh. Be quiet and listen. I knew it. I shouldn't have done that. I blew it again. And that? What did he do, I wonder? Hey, you! About what you just said, I got an objection. What the? Edgy, you dirty rat! Gumshoe, you oaf. I'm sorry, sir. Before I knew it, I was out
shouting out objection. And in a loud commanding voice, too. I even pointed with my pointer finger. You've watched too many trials. I'm sorry. Okay, Larry, the jig is up. What have you got to say for yourself? Ugh. What is this little shack, anyway? Well, I just discovered it myself yesterday. And what were you doing here in the first place? Yeah, come on, I'm an artist. I was looking for a good place to sketch. This is a great little place. It's artistic. It's quiet, it's cold, it's got no power, and it looks like it's about to collapse. Sounds a lot like my apartment there, pal. One thing's for sure. No one is likely to show up and disturb you here. So, can I get you something to drink? Some hot water, maybe? He's getting all buddy-buddy on us, sir. Listen to me, Edgy. You gotta do this. You gotta save Iris. Why are you so sure she's innocent? Because she's cute? Watch your mouth! Anyway, I've made up my mind about it. I'm gonna marry that girl. Mr. Edgeworth is pretending he didn't hear you. So I'm gonna ask for him. Have you already asked this girl to marry you? No. Not yet. But I can tell how she feels by the look in her eyes. She's got this, I really want this man to carry me over the threshold look. I'm sure Nick would be surprised. He never imagined that I could marry such a beautiful girl like that. Something tells me he would be shocked indeed. That's why I didn't want her to do anything dangerous. I mean, what am I gonna do if she gets hurt? What is this guy trying to say? He lost me about a mile back. If I really want to know the answer to that, we're gonna have to drag him out to the witness stand. Come to think of it, you still haven't answered my question. Where were you, and what were you doing last night? Aw man, don't you have anything else to talk about? With that kind of attitude, you'll never be a ladies' man like me. Okay, chill out. Chill out with the scary eyes, I got it. If you really want to know, last night, I saw something incredible. Something incredible? Yeah, but let's not talk about that now. Let's talk about the good old days. What do you say? Come on, I'll pour you a nice cup of hot water. Why hasn't he realized that I absolutely despise talking about the good old days? Especially with him. Alright, let's Magatama him. Take that! Take that! The night of the crime. Alright, now you're going to tell me... Sorry, I keep getting my voices mixed up. Alright, now you're going to tell me what you really saw that night. Whoa, you're really upset, aren't you, Edgy? Okay, I'll talk. Huh? That was a bit too easy. Yeah, anyway, it was awesome. Never seen anything like it. At around 10 o'clock last night, it started thundering. I had been sleeping. I'm not sure how long, but suddenly, zing! The whole world in front of me went white. Like I'd just been slapped in the face by my old girlfriend, Naomi. And then, well, it was on fire. The bridge was on fire. Dusky Bridge caught on fire? Are you saying you saw it with your own eyes? Hey, what are you giving me the evil eye? I'm telling the truth. There are still 3 psycho locks remaining. That means he's still trying to hide something. By the way, Larry, where were you when you saw that happen? Well, where you say? Well, what do you mean? What do you mean, what do I mean? Just answer the question. I was in my own room by the main hall. Where else would I be? As usual, you're as transparent as an empty jelly jar. The problem, I suspect, lies there. There? What do you mean there? It's impossible for you to have seen lightning strike from Dusky Bridge from your room. Take that! This is a map of the area. Take a look around the vicinity of Hazakura Temple. What am I looking for? I think that should be fairly obvious. The main hall is surrounded by trees, and it's impossible to see the bridge from here. Why didn't you tell me that before? Well, how about it? How about what? Do you feel like talking now? About what?
Looks like it won't be that easy after all. You leave me no choice. I'll have to move on to the next step. You weren't in your room at the time, so then where were you? You don't know that. I wasn't in my room. So, where was Larry and why was he there? If I've read the situation up to this point correctly, the answer is fairly obvious. Ahem. Very well then, let's test my theory. The place you witnessed the lightning strike Dusky Bridge from was here. Yeah, okay. The place you saw from the lightning strike from was naturally Heavenly Hall. Well, why would I be hanging out in this old shack? It's freezing cold, there's no electricity, and it could fall apart at any minute. Larry, how do you know that anyway? How do you know there's no electricity? After all, it's not that dark yet. Uh-oh. In other words, you have just provided evidence to prove my theory. My theory that you have at least once in your life visited Heavenly Hall after sunset. I have to admit, I'm impressed, Edgy. You're in a totally different league from Nick. That's nice. Now tell me, what were you doing at the cold little shack last night? Well, that's what you might call a fair decor. I think you mean a fair decor? Could it be you were waiting for someone? Oh, no. You really are one scary guy, you know. I believe that last night, you were waiting for this person to come meet you. Take that! There's only one person you'd wait for in a horrible place like this, Larry. I told you before, don't call me Larry. The person you were waiting for was Iris. Oh, suddenly I feel cold all over again, Edgy. No doubt because of my chilly glare. So, you think I got the hots for the sister Iris, huh? Do you have some kind of evidence? You got something that proves I was waiting for her? Or were you just guessing? This is where I draw the line and end this ridiculous little game. Here is the evidence that you were waiting for Iris. I'm a little appalled that he's the one, but it looks like... it's him. It has to be him who put this note out. Maybe it was a bluff, but who knows? Here's your evidence. You call her to this spot with a pathetic blackmail letter. You give that back! You're embarrassing me! What are you doing with that anyway? That's not important. I misjudged you, Larry. What do you mean? Taking advantage of a woman's frailty like that. You should be ashamed of yourself. Oh. First of all, what's this at the top of the letter? It says salutation here. What? That's what it said in my book, Letter Writing for Dummies. You're not supposed to actually write that. That's where you're supposed to write, Dear Iris. I'm so sorry. This guy's the worst. I actually liked Larry in the first case, and I've hated him ever since. Like the first case, first game. So you were here in Heavenly Hall last night, were you not? And you saw the lightning hit Dusky Bridge, didn't you? Sorry, Edgy. Doesn't cut it. Sorry doesn't cut it, you scumbag. Treating a young lady like that. Go. Wait. Hold up. What now, pal? What are you talking about? What threatening stuff? I'll tell you what. You tried to scare Iris by threatening her to expose her secret, pal. What do you mean threaten? When did I threaten her? Unless you want your secret to be exposed. That sure sounds like a threat to me, pal. Blackmail, in fact. Give me a break. It's a love letter. Haven't you ever been in love? What did you just say? My love for her burns so hotly it can melt all the snow on this mountain. Oh? Then what is this secret you mentioned? Come on, Edgy. Don't you get it? I'm talking about the secret love between her and me. Obviously, she wouldn't want little old lady Bikini knowing about that, right? About our hot and sour bittersweet love affair. Alright then, why did you send a love letter in a business like manila envelope? Give me a break! It's not my fault I didn't have any other envelopes. Yeesh! Then why are you so quick to apologize, pal? It's 'cause Edgy gave me that scary look of his. Usually these two characters don't interact, and the same accent that I gave him kind of conflicts hard here. What's wrong, Edgy? Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? That's it? That's all those huge locks were about? I don't understand why you were so defensive. Well, I don't know either. I guess the thing is, you shouldn't expect too much from a guy like me. Hey, come on. Don't let it get you down. But Mr. Edgeworth, this guy's still hiding something, I know it. What do you mean, detective? Don't forget what this guy said just a minute ago. If you really want to know, last night, I saw something incredible. He's right. Larry. What? You're looking at me like a hungry dog does after we just found a bone. What is this something incredible that you saw last night? You're going to tell me, Larry, one way or another. I already told you, didn't I? I saw lightning strike Dusky Bridge. Yeah, and I believe it was the incredible sight that you saw. But now that I think about it, something doesn't quite ring true. What doesn't? If that's all there is to your story, your heart wouldn't have had all those locks. Yeah, Larry. I believe you saw something last night. Something more incredible than lightning. What? When? Where? Why? How? Hey, what do you think you're doing? If you hide anything from Mr. Edgeworth, I'll arrest you on the spot, pal. Ah! Oh, that's a lot of chains. Oh, that's 5 Cyclocks. Oh, that's not good. No! What's wrong, sir? Does this mean I have to do it all over again? Why are you glaring at me like I'm next to be hit by a bolt of lightning? I've just about had it with this Harlequin. If I really want to drag the truth out of him, I'll just have to drag him to the witness stand. To be continued. I think we're going to trial next. I think we've finished the first round of investigations, but we don't have a whole lot to this is all just a big mess of information right now.